What's up, guys? Once again, it's your boy T here at Don't Inhale, and we're bringing you another cigar review. In this smoke session, I'm going to be reviewing the 22 minutes to midnight in the Radiante Toro Vitola. Once again, right off the bat, I gave this cigar an overall of 6 out of 10. And yeah, so for those of you who came just for the score, y'all can exit the video now and go get started on smoking. But for those who want to find out more on the breakdown and a little fun facts about it, stick around. So 22 minutes to midnight is named because Tony Bellato, I think it's Bellato, of Bellato Premium Cigars, as well as Lost and Found. He collabed with Robert Caldwell of Caldwell Cigars. So essentially the Lost and Found project, what it is Robert Caldwell would go to cigar factories and he would ask for batches of cigars that have been abandoned by projects due to various reasons. Maybe the person that commissioned the factory never paid their dues for the project. Maybe they just ran into some tough times and abandoned the project, anything like that. So he would go to these factories and he would ask them for batches of cigars that were abandoned, which is why it's called Lost and Found. So when he got a batch of these cigars, him and Tony smoked the batch in different locations in the world, but Tony was so impressed by the cigar that he sent a text to Robert Caldwell at 11:38 p.m. to say, man, this got to be one of the cigars in the Lost and Found project. Hence why on the band you'll see either 2338, which is the version from Caldwell, or you'll see 1138, which is the version from Tony. And that's why it's called 22 minutes to midnight. So the one that I smoked specifically, this is a Radiante Toro in a 6x52 Vitola. This is the version that comes out of Caldwell's side of the project, because on the band it has 2338. The wrapper, binder, and filler are all undisclosed because, it's Lost and Found, so they just really don't know the whereabouts of the, tobacco. Country of origin is the Dominican Republic. Right off the bat, when I got this cigar and I just felt the cigar, it was really smooth wrapper, really nice construction. Minimal veins, really good. It wasn't super dense. Like a dense cigar, for example, is like when I picked up the Opus X, the Oscuro. That cigar, when I had it in hand, it definitely had some weight to it. It felt really dense. This one, it was nicely constructed, but it wasn't super dense. Like it felt, light in the hands. But although it wasn't super dense, it did not have any soft spots, which is a good sign. The smell on the cigar, mainly on the wrapper, it was like hay with some slight baking spices. But through the foot, I got like this savory ramen chicken seasoning spice. Pretty good smell. Cold draw, I got this floral nutmeg spice to it. So I opted for the guillotine cut for the smoke. Off the initial combustion, man, let me just say this was probably one of the best initial combustions I've ever tasted. The initial combustion gave me this umami, funky mushroom taste, and there was some toasted peanuts, and there was a finish of a buttery honey like sweetness to it. It was really good. Through the retrohale, I got a nutmeg spice with caramel butter sweetness. But that didn't last long, because after the initial combustion, the cigar just started to slowly, trickle down little by little, and I'll tell you guys why. On the first third, I got baking spice mainly with a unsalted peanut finish. And through the retrohale of that first third, I got a strong cinnamon with a Biscoff cracker finish. Yeah, the retrohale was better than the palate, so that was, the redeeming quality on the first third. Once I smoked through the second third, I deducted a fresh cracked black pepper mainly on the palate with some floral notes, some slight salted cracker finish, And through the retro of the second third, I got a black pepper spice that was very dominant, and there was an unsalted butter, vegetable, like herby note to it. It was in a really good mix. And on the final third, I got this stone fruit. Like, again, stone fruit is any fruit like a peach, a plum, a mango, something with a hard pit, right? Those pits tend to be quite bitter, when you, I don't know if you guys have ever like tried to, like get the flesh off the pit. It gives like this, a bitterness to it. So it gave that bitterness, but there was some redeeming quality of said like stone fruit, like flesh sweetness to it. So, but I would say it was mainly, again, like 90% bitter, 10% sweetness. And then out the retrohale, I got a mild black pepper spice with a caramel finish. So the retrohale, again, was the saving grace throughout the entire cigar, but I only retro 3 to 4 times when I smoke. So overall, guys, I mean, that initial was so amazing. I mean, I could see why Tony sent that text at 11:38, because the minute you lit the cigar up, you're like, holy crap, this is the one, and he might have put it down and fell asleep, but the rest of the cigar did not live up to that initial combustion. So for flavor, I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. It was, an average Connecticut cigar. It's not a Connecticut that I would recommend to people that are new to the cigar, hobby. But if you do want to try the cigar, I mean, go for it. It's very average. I feel like if the flavors were more balanced, it would definitely get a higher flavor score for me. Most of the like flavors that I tend not to like were at the forefront, followed by finishes of the more pleasant flavors. So it wasn't a really balanced cigar. Talking about flavor, the body of the flavor is definitely like medium, like mild to medium. That was another good thing. It didn't linger on the tongue for too long. It just kind of, developed a quick flavor, and then it dissipated after, some time. So thankfully, I didn't have to sit there and, dwell with those flavors for a while. Construction of the cigar, again, like I said, the minute I picked up the cigar, it was a really good feeling cigar. So I got to give it a 9 out of 10. Burn line throughout was fantastic. Ash held on strong and all of that. So I got to give it a 9 out of 10. Price, it's an $18 cigar. So, when I think of other $18 cigars that I've smoked before, this cigar does not live up to, an $18 stick, because there are, let's say, certain Padrones out there that are $18 that are better than this cigar. The Dunbarton, the Sobra Mesa, Brulee Blue, the Wagashi, those cigars are better, like levels better than this cigar, right? Therefore, I had to give this cigar a 4 out of 10 for that price tag. For what it offered, it's too unbalanced for it to be priced so. And that brought the overall score of this cigar to a 6 out of 10, as stated earlier at the beginning of this video. I started the cigar at 9:35 p.m. I ended the cigar at 11:50 p.m. So that took me about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Again, I'm a slow smoker. The whole group will tell you guys that. Like, I just kind of really sit there and take a puff every minute 30 seconds. Really, like, enjoy the, smoking session. But if you're a quick smoker, you might get through this cigar in maybe an hour and 30 minutes, But yeah, if you're going to smoke this cigar, just be prepared to set aside, at least an hour and 45 minutes to give you guys the whole entire experience on the cigar. But yeah, guys, this has been the review of the 22 minutes to midnight in the Toro Radiante Vitola. And until next time, you already know the drill. Don't inhale.